So guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing some team of the season predictions. Now, I know what you're thinking, Kieran, it's a bit early for that, right? We're only halfway into the season, and to be honest, that's what makes it perfect timing. 19 games played and the league table looks like this. Now, with the season only being 50% complete, there is still a lot of football to be played, but since we're at the halfway point, now's a good time to reflect on the first half of the season and predict how the rest is going to go. And in a few months, we can come back to this video and we can compare the actual team of the season to my halfway predictions, and we'll see how many I get right. But it's not all about me. I've got my opinions and you have yours. So in the comments below, I want to hear from you. Who do you think, based off of performances in the first 19 games, would deserve a spot in the Premier League team of the season? And guys, if you could leave a like on the video, that would be awesome. And also, let me know, should I do these midway team of the season predictions for the other major leagues too? Okay, so now that's all out the way, before we get into the players, just remember everyone has a different opinion, and chances are I'm going to miss out on one or two players that you think I should have included. Don't get angry at me because I'm not going to get this spot on and I'm not going to please everyone, but you are, well, of course, welcome to suggest alternative players in the comments. And before anyone says I'm being biased in these predictions, just remember I'm an Arsenal fan, and wait till you see how many Arsenal players I've included in this. You might be surprised. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. So we start with the goalkeepers. The two standouts so far, in my opinion, have been Man United's David De Gea and Burnley's Nick Pope. De Gea currently has the most clean sheets in the Premier League with 10, and he has actually made the second most saves in the Premier League this season. And of course, many believe he is the best goalkeeper in the world right now. And to be honest, it's hard to disagree with that with the way he's performing as of late. And you know, he has saved Man United on many occasions this season, and so far I actually think he's been the best goalkeeper in the league. Burnley are having a pretty amazing Premier League so far, and one reason for that has been their defence, and at the back of that defence is their goalkeeper Nick Pope, who has, you know, helped his side keep 8 clean sheets, and him himself has just put in some absolutely incredible performances, and some of them led to him being nominated for Player of the Month. Moving on to the defenders, well, the first page of them anyway, and I guess we'll go from left to right. So we'll start with Marcos Alonso. He's one of my picks, and he has had a few patchy spells so far, but for the most part has been solid. He's also scored 4 goals and got 1 assist from his left wing back role, and he must be doing something right because he's featured not only in my team of the season predictions, but also featuring in a lot of the pros and pundits team of the season so far too. Fellow Chelsea man Azpilicueta is next to him, and I don't think anyone will be debating this one because he's been amazing. He's been absolutely class for Chelsea this season, and for me, I think he's been one of the most consistent performers of this year. He's also scored once and got 5 assists in the league too. And now we come on to the first of many Manchester City players, and we start with Nicholas Otamendi, a player who just 12 months ago was getting a lot of stick, but not anymore. Pep Guardiola has turned him into one of the better performing defenders in the league, and thus far has been a staple of the Man City backline that have only conceded 12 goals so far this season, the lowest in the Premier League. The final player on this page is actually United's Antonio Valencia. The former winger's new home at right back has been a revelation for him, and it has been a key part of Man United's defensive success this year. 3 more defenders feature in this video. We've got Ashley Young, Ben Mee and Kyle Walker, and at 32, Ashley Young is performing pretty well in his new defensive role. Obviously when he was a lot younger, he used to actually be an attacking player, but you know, he's doing pretty well in this left wing back / left back role. He's been a key part of Man United's defence, and he's also contributed to 5 goals so far this season. Ben Mee's been top class for Burnley, and I feel that him or Tarkowski, the other Burnley centre back, could make the cut. And I said earlier when we spoke about Nick Pope that Burnley have been really good so far, and their defence can take a lot of credit for that. Kyle Walker, since joining Man City, has been solid going forward and defending, and Pep has got him playing some very good stuff. He's played a key role in 4 goals so far, and I'm sure that he's going to be involved in a lot more in the second half of the season. Now we move on to the midfielders. Nemanja Matic is up first, and I think he's just a class player. I don't know why in the world Chelsea sold him, but you know, they did, and he's come in and he's done a great job at Man United, and I still think that he's underrated. I really do. I think he's absolutely class, and it would have been nice if Arsenal signed him, but you know, they didn't. Anyway, Eden Hazard is up next. He's played more of a central role this season and he's looked very good doing so. 5 goals and 2 assists is a pretty good return, and I'm sure he's going to add to that before all 38 games are played. Christian Eriksen, just like last season, is both scoring and setting goals up. 5 goals and 4 assists in the Premier League is a pretty damn good record. The midfielder has played cam, left wing, right wing, all over the front line, and on his day he can be one of the best playmakers in the world. You know, as much as it pains me to say that as an Arsenal fan. The final midfielder on this page is KDB, Kevin De Bruyne, who right now, at the current time, is the best player in the league. And I do not think many of you will disagree with that. He has been absolutely ridiculous for Man City this year. 6 goals and 8 assists and countless great moments. You know, come the end of the season, I'm confident he's going to be one of the first players nominated for Player of the Year. The second page of midfielders features David Silva, Richarlison and Wayne Rooney, and I know this page might be a bit controversial, but you know, hear me out. So, we'll start with David Silva, who has been producing gold this season. You see what I did there? Very good, very good. 5 goals and 8 assists and a couple of man of the match performances. He's been awesome, and even at the ripe old age of 31 is still producing the goods. Watford, like Burnley, is surprising a lot of people this season, and due to that, if they keep it up, I expect both teams to have players feature in the team of the season. Richarlison's my choice from Watford, but Doucouré could also be selected. 5 goals and 4 assists have come from the Brazilian, making him seem to be one of the underrated transfers of the season. The final midfielder we're going to talk about is going to be Wayne Rooney. Now, I know some people might disagree with this one, but 10 goals and 2 assists is pretty hard to ignore, no matter how them numbers came about. Now, he didn't start the season off well, but to be honest, no one at Everton did, but they soon have kicked on and recently have been very good, and Rooney has been a key part of their turn of form. Next up is the attackers, and we'll start with Raheem Sterling, who has grown so much since Pep Guardiola came in, and he has actually turned into one of the best attackers in the league. 12 goals and 4 assists so far in the Premier League is incredible, and you know, the way that him and his team are playing, he's going to add to that. So yeah, who knows how many goals and assists he'll end the season with. Harry Kane is currently the joint Premier League top scorer with 15 goals, and year after year he is proving to be one of the best goal scorers in the world. Tottenham as a whole may not be performing as well as they would have liked thus far, but a few of their players have still been performing very well, and one of them is Harry Kane. Mohamed Salah is also the joint top scorer in the Premier League, 15 goals and 3 assists for him, which is incredibly impressive, and since joining Liverpool he has been absolutely class, and yeah, many people believe he's the best player in the Premier League right now. I would probably say that's Kevin De Bruyne, but still both of them have been top draw so far this year. The final three, we have Sane, Aguero and Coutinho. A lot of Man City attackers have featured, and you know, rightly so, the way that they are scoring goals. Sane's got 6 goals and 8 assists, Aguero's got 12 goals and 4 assists, and just like with Sterling, I imagine that these two will be adding to those totals in the next few months. The final player I've gone for is actually Coutinho, which, you know, some people might see as somewhat controversial, but you know, despite being heavily linked with Barcelona, he has been playing incredibly well for Liverpool. 6 goals and 5 assists in the league for him. He's played on the wing and in central midfield, and he's played really well despite a rocky start to the season. So, those are the 23 players I have gone for. However, I'm fully aware I've missed out a bunch of players who probably deserve a mention, and you know, I've only got 23 spots, so it is hard to make space for everyone. I did want to include a player from Huddersfield like Schindler or Moy, and I also wanted to include someone from Brighton like maybe Pascal Gross or Shane Duffy, but like I said, it's incredibly hard to make room for everyone. Most of you will have noticed no Arsenal player featured, and I'm an Arsenal fan, so you know, there goes anyone's bias argument. But in all seriousness, I actually think someone like Mustafi come the end of the season could feature in team of the season, but for now I felt with him missing, you know, 9 or 10 games, it's pretty hard to include him. There are so many players like Ben Davies who's been really good for Spurs, Mahrez has been solid recently for Leicester, as has Ndidi, Ryan Bertrand's been really good for Southampton, and Wilfried Zaha has been great for Crystal Palace. It honestly is just so hard to pick just 23 players. So with all that being said, I challenge you to name your 23 in the comments below. It's not easy, you're always going to seem to be leaving someone out. Now obviously this is just midway predictions. In a few months this could all change. Some of these players could get injured, they could transfer to another team. In a few months we could have a different league leader. We probably won't because Man City are looking unstoppable right now, but who knows. Other teams could be in the relegation zone and there could even be different top scorers. We just don't know how this season is going to pan out. It will be interesting to see how many of the same players that feature in this video also feature in my end of season predictions. Anyway guys, we're at the end of the video now. Thanks for watching and, you know, putting up with me for the past 10 minutes. I've got an incredibly annoying code right now that's making me sound like I'm talking out of my nose. So, you know, I'm sorry about that. But if you could leave a like on the video, that would be awesome. And of course, leave a comment. I'm sure the comment section for this video will be pretty fun. And I will reply to as many comments as I can. Also in the comments, let me know if you want me to do this kind of video for the other major leagues. That would be great too. And like I said, thanks for watching. And as always, I will catch you in the next one.